Welcome to 2025. We were promised a future where technology would liberate us, granting us more time for the things that matter. Instead, the boundary between the physical and the digital has dissolved. We don't log on anymore, we are simply on. Our homes are sentient, our mirrors analyze our health before we've even brushed our teeth, and AI assistants live in our ears, predicting our needs before we even feel them. But beneath the seamless convenience of this always-on culture lies a hidden tax, a cost we pay with the most valuable currency we possess, our attention. Today, we are exploring the invisible erosion of the human mind in the hyper-connected era, the neuroscience of why we feel so drained, and how we can design a life that reclaims the power of the analog world. The fragmentation of the self. In 2025, digital distraction is no longer an interruption, it is the default state of existence. We live in a state of constant cognitive overflow. This isn't just about getting too many emails, it's about the relentless stream of micro-inputs that shatter our focus into 1,000 pieces. Think about your typical morning. Before you've even left your bed, you've processed a dozen notifications, checked the weather via an AI summary, and perhaps glanced at a curated feed of global crises. By 9 a.m., your brain has already performed more context switching than a human from the 1950s would have performed in a week. This culture fragments our attention and destroys our capacity for deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It is the superpower of the 21st century. Yet research shows that every time we are interrupted by a notification, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to return to the original task with the same level of depth. In an always-on world, we are never truly back. We are living in the shallows, skimming the surface of our lives and our work, never diving deep enough to find the pearls of true creativity or complex problem-solving. The science of disconnection. To understand the toll this takes, we must look at the biology of the brain. We're using 2025 technology with software in our heads that hasn't changed in 50,000 years. The dopamine loop and the prefrontal cortex. Our brains are wired to seek out novelty. Every notification, a like, a message, a news alert, triggers a release of dopamine. In the past, this helped us find food or avoid predators. Today, it keeps us scrolling. The problem is that the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for willpower and long-term planning, is easily exhausted. When it's tired, we lose our ability to say no to the screen. The phenomenon of attention residue. Even when you put your phone away, your brain isn't fully present. You are suffering from attention residue. A part of your mind is still wondering about that last comment you read or the email you didn't answer. This residue builds up throughout the day until, by evening, you feel fried, physically tired but mentally wired, unable to relax but too exhausted to be productive. The statistics of overload. The data from 2025 is clear. Anxiety and FOMO. Rates of clinical anxiety have spiked by nearly 40% among heavy users of wearable tech, driven by the constant pressure to stay updated. The memory fade. Because we outsource our memory to AI and cloud storage, our hippocampus, the brain's memory center, is showing signs of decreased activity. We are losing the ability to store and synthesize information internally. The empathy gap. When we communicate through screens, we lose the subtle facial cues and micro-expressions that build empathy. Excessive screen time is literally making us less capable of feeling what others feel. However, the science also offers hope.
Studies on digital detoxes show that as little as 48 to 72 hours of total disconnection can reset our baseline dopamine levels, significantly improve sleep quality, and restore our executive function to peak levels.
Designing your analog oasis. If the problem is the environment, the solution is design. We cannot rely on willpower alone to fight the most sophisticated algorithms ever created. We must build analog oases, sacred spaces and times where technology has no dominion. Establishing tech-free zones. The first step is physical. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary. In 2025, that means no smart chargers on the nightstand and no screens within reach. When you enter this space, your brain needs to receive a clear signal. The digital world ends here. The same should apply to the dining table. Reclaim the sacred geometry of face-to-face interaction. The power of analog anchors. Introduce analog anchors into your daily routine. These are physical objects that require your full tactile attention. The paper journal. There is a cognitive connection between the hand and the brain that a keyboard cannot replicate. Writing your thoughts on paper slows down your thinking, allowing for deeper reflection. The physical book. Unlike an e-reader, a physical book has a beginning, a middle, and an end that you can feel with your hands. It provides a sense of progress and completion that digital media lacks. The nature walks, or the silent walk. In 2025, the trend of silent walking, walking without podcasts, music, or trackers, is a radical act of self-care. It allows the mind to wander, which is the precursor to original thought. The digital Sabbath. Borrow a concept from ancient wisdom, the digital Sabbath. Choose one day a week, or even just a 12-hour block on a Sunday, to unplug completely. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Put the devices in a literal box. Use this time for slow activities, long conversations, cooking a complex meal from scratch, or engaging in a hobby that doesn't involve a chip or a battery. Reclaiming deep work and human connection. What happens when we reclaim our attention? We rediscover our humanity. In the professional world, the people who thrive in 2025 are those who practice intentional disconnection. We see this in forward-thinking companies that have banned internal emails after 6 p.m. and created deep work pods where employees can work in total silence for 4 hours a day. These individuals aren't just more productive, they're happier. They experience the flow state, that magical place where time disappears and the work itself becomes a source of joy. But the most profound change happens in our relationships. When we are always on, we are half there for everyone. When we turn the digital noise off, we can be all there for someone. Genuine human connection requires presence. It requires the ability to listen without thinking about a notification. It requires the patience to let a conversation unfold without checking the time on a smartwatch. The future of focus. The future of living well in 2025 is not about becoming a Luddite or throwing your smartphone into the ocean. It is about mindful integration. Technology is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. A digital detox isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle of maintenance. It's about maintaining a balanced digital diet. Ask yourself, is this app feeding my soul or is it just consuming my time? Is this notification necessary or is it a theft of my peace? The always-on culture is a choice, not a destiny. You have the power to flip the switch. You have the right to be unreachable. You have the permission to be bored, to be still, and to be present. Take the first step today. Put down the device. Look at the world with your own eyes, not through a lens. Your attention is your life. Reclaim it.